Oh my goodness. Welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm excited that you're here. We've got people from Texas. We've got people from California. We've got people from wherever you're from. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday. It's Friday, easy day for me. I'm going casual. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm wearing my love shirt today. I'm wearing my love shirt because it is February and it is absolutely self-care and self-love month. And I hope that you are treating yourself well this month. And if you're not, I want you to do something special for yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, nothing else will happen. You will not be able to take care of anyone else. So be good to yourself this weekend. I don't care if it's going to a movie. I don't care if it's taking a walk. I don't care if it's taking a hike. I don't care if it's making passionate love to your partner. Whatever it is, do something good for yourself in the name of self-love. Okay, so we're on this journey together. And a couple of weeks ago, I had a session and we talked about, I got to silence something, so I apologize. We talked about the process of change and the roads that we need to do and to go on in order to make change in our lives. And this whole series is about flourishing in 2023 and how to get better and to achieve some of the goals and dreams that you personally have. And it doesn't matter what my dreams and goals are. It's all about you. It is all about you and what you want to accomplish. So we talked about the different roads, and we call it the yellow brick road to change. And the first step in change is awareness. I must first be aware that I need to change, correct? Right. Then I need to accept everything that's gone on in my life, right? I need to accept everything that has gone on. And then I need to take some action. I need to take action. So those are your roadways to change. But the first one is awareness. I want to change. Something needs to change in my life. And today, when I told you we're going to talk about things that you can use to get your life changed or move forward, it all begins with one thing. It all begins right here, which is in your mind. And today we are going to talk about the mindset. Oh, I take you off of my thing, but it is about the mindset. The mindset is the number one thing that is going to impact whether or not you can move forward. Now, some of you probably say, you know what? I am so tired of hearing about mindset. But fundamentally, if you look at all the research that has been done and how people flourish and thrive in their lives, it's all about mindset, right? It is all about mindset. And so I want to cover a couple of things, because we're going to talk about the mindset. We're going to talk about the different brains that you have. We're going to talk about what truly holds us back. What truly holds us back? And it goes back to many, many years ago. For many of us, it's our programming, what we learned about ourselves, the role models that we had, the environment that we were in, everything that we grew up with, whomever we grew up in, it all impacts us. And I don't know if you've ever heard the term learned helplessness, my friends. Have you ever heard that term? And I'm sure many of you have, but it's the reaction of giving up because of the belief that nothing you can do can change your circumstances, right? Nothing that you can do can change your circumstances. And when we look at the studies of learned helplessness through positive psychology studies, we learn that if you are told you cannot do something, you begin to believe in it, right? You begin to believe in it. So learned helplessness, if you will, holds us back. It's something that you learned over the years. And so now we're trying to break out of that. And it's sometimes can be difficult, right? It can be difficult. So I look at it and I go, all right, what can I do differently? First, I know I want to change. And now I have to be aware and let go of what happened to me in the past. And I have to move forward into and taking a different path, And there's there's great cause for hope for all of us. Statistics show that we as a human species have improved on many, many dimensions. 200 years ago, 85% of the population lived in extreme poverty. 20 years ago, it was 29%. Today is 9%. We are faster, smarter, we're improving. It is a great place to be, but yet some of us are still stuck. We're stuck. And what can I do? What can I do? What can I change? And the first thing we say to ourselves, as I've heard it over and over, my problems seem overwhelming. I feel defeated. And do you ever say to yourself, nothing I do will ever make a difference? And all of us feel that way at some point in time now, don't we? Yes, we do. So what can we do to change it? What can we do to change it? And again, it starts with mindset, right? It starts with mindset. So we're going to look at 2 different types of mindset today. And then we're also going to look at the different types of brains that we have today, because it impacts how we may be able to flourish in our lives. Okay. So we're going to talk about that, but I want to start with a question. Do you have in your mind a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? Do you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? And some of you are saying, what the heck is mindset anyway? What is that? Well, what is the definition of mindset? What is it? It's a mental attitude. It's a mental attitude. If I wake up in the morning and I say I'm going to have a dreadful day, I'm going to have a dreadful day. So I wake up in the morning and I say, and many people that I work with, they know that I'm always going to ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling? Are you feeling a 5, a 6, a 7? Now, by choice, I wake up and I say, I choose to be a 10 today. So that is a mindset. And mindset helps us understand how a person approaches problem solving and overcoming challenges. We've all had challenges in our life, right? Now, I wasn't always this positive and crazy. Yes, I've been crazy my whole life, but I wasn't always this positive. I went through a lot learning and growing about myself. And over the years, because I've been studying human development and psychology and personal growth since my middle 20s. Now, I took a little detour for a while and I realized that I was missing it. So I went back to studying it. And what I've learned is that because I've learned it and it's helped me, it's helped my family, it's helped my friends. And so it is my responsibility as a human being in today's society to share that knowledge and to bestow on you what I have learned in the hopes that you will take that and share this with others and improve your own life. So let's begin, we said, with the mindset. So your mindset is your basic instinct, right? It's your survival mechanism, right? So according to Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck, I love her, she says, what you believe about yourself plays a pivotal role in what you want and whether or not you will achieve it. So it is a belief about yourself. And again, there are 2 types of mindsets. One is the fixed and one is the growth. Now, let me just explain to you what a fixed mindset sounds like. I'm not good at sales. I'm not good at painting. I'm not good at cooking. I'm not good at whatever it is. I'm not good at it. I'm just bad. And I don't care. I really don't care. I will never be good at it. Now, I used to say to myself, I am not a creative person. I used to say that to myself all the time. And yet I know I have creativity in this gray hair. I have wisdom in this gray hair. But it took me a long time of overcoming that doubt within myself. And it's the self-talk that we have. So people with a fixed mindset, they believe that these qualities are inborn, they're fixed, and they can't move, they're not changeable. But a growth mindset, what does a growth mindset do? A growth mindset approaches life completely different. Here's how it sounds. I don't know how to paint. I have not learned how to paint yet. I don't know how to play the drums, because that's one of the things I want to do yet. It's not a priority for me right now, but I'm going to get to it. When I'm ready, I will learn how to do it. People with growth mindsets believe that these abilities can be developed, strengthened by way of commitment and hard work. So again, what is your mindset? Do you have a growth or a fixed mindset? Now, I've been around many people, and I can tell right away. You can talk to so many people out there, and you know right away, okay, they're really set in their ways, and they are not going to change. And guess what? I choose to not associate with them, because are they going to lift me up, or are they going to push me down? Are they going to lift me up? Are they going to encourage me, or are they going to keep me at their level? These are questions I want you to consider, especially with the people you hang out with. Are they enhancing your life, or are they limiting your life? So here's another example of a fixed mindset. So listen to these words and decide. I want you to decide. This is a little test. So people have a certain amount of intelligence, and there isn't any way to change it. No matter who you are, there isn't much you can do to improve your basic abilities and personality. The third question, or the third statement that I want you to think about, whether you agree with or not: people are capable of changing who they are. Number 4, you can learn new things and improve your intelligence. Number 5, people either have talents or they don't. You can't just acquire a talent for things like music, like art, like languages, or athletics. And number 6, studying, working hard, and practicing new skills are all ways to develop new talents and abilities. So now I gave you 6 questions. And which ones did you agree with, and which ones did you not? Now, if you agreed with statements 1, 2, and 5, then you probably have a fixed mindset. If you're surprised by that, it's just a learning opportunity. And if you agreed with statements 3, 4, and 6, you probably tend to have a growth mindset, and I think that's awesome. And the question people always ask me is like, can I change my mindset? And the question I come back with is, do you want to change your mindset? Are you willing to change your mindset? Are you willing to have the courage to move forward? And a strong mindset is one of the most important things we must maintain in order to get through life. One of the old-time mentors of great times, Earl Nightingale, said, we become what we think about most of the time. We become what we think about most of the time. So what are you saying to yourself? This is about getting through your growth in 2023. How do I grow? How do I get better? It's learning how to speak to yourself. Are you saying to yourself right now, this lady doesn't know anything about me nor my circumstances? And of course, you're absolutely right. But what I do know is that you're so much capable. You're so capable of so much more because inside of you is something special. You're worthy, you're capable, and I believe in you. I believe in you. And sometimes I tend to believe in people more than they know they believe in themselves. So think about, know how special that you are, how worthy you are. I believe in your ability to figure things out. I believe in your growth potential, right? So are you saying those things to yourself? Like, I know you're capable of so much more. So here's some things I want you to consider. Don't play the game, the blame game. Take responsibility for your actions. Life is hard for everyone, right? Life is hard for everyone. It is. And so what I want you to think about is, how can I improve my mindset? We must first start in understanding that this brain of ours is the most powerful tool that we have in order to move us into growth mode. Now, in today's day and age, not only are we financially better off, there are less people, there's less poverty. There's so many good things in the world. But what happens? We focus on the negative. So let's focus on the positive things in our lives. We all have positive aspects in our life to focus on. And what we know is that if you want to grow in 2023, you have to understand that knowledge is not the problem. You don't need more intellect, because if I want to know something, what do I do? What do? You go to Mr. or Mrs. Google and you ask the question, and my God, everything you want to know is there. So it's not about knowledge is not the problem. We don't need intellect. We need emotional development within ourselves. We don't need time management, because you can't control time anywhere, can you? What we need is more self-management. Now, it's not your life against the world. It's your life against yourself. It is yourself that we need to work on. And most people would rather say, oh, it's someone else's problem. But I say, take responsibility for your actions, and you have the ability to grow in every single way. So don't look at, there's so many apps out there. There's billions of them, right? There are thousands of them, not a billion, but there are quite a few apps out there. And everybody's looking for the next greatest app. What we really need, though, is skill aptitude for ourselves to grow. And the number one thing that we do need to focus on within ourselves for our growth is our attention. We need to learn to control our attention, because you have all day long all these distractions coming at you now, don't you? All these distractions are coming at you. It's why you need a little structure in your lives. You need structure. You need to be accountable for your own actions. And here's what we know through human behavior studies, is that we, as a human species, are generally what? What do you think that is? Lazy. We are lazy. We would like to take the path of least resistance on anything. So we have to be really, really, really having some structure. It's just like January 1st. What did you do? We all made resolutions, right? We all made resolutions in January. Come February, what happened? What happens come February? Ooh, we start to drop off, right? So we are emotionally immature. Hey, guilty. Me too. I'm the same way. Listen, I'm the same way. So I have to constantly reset. So all day long, temptations, solicitations, temptation, solicitation, temptation, solicitation, notification, do this, do that, go there. Our brain is exploding with information. And in order to understand, really, understand how our brain works, we need to understand that we really have, how many brains are we working with right now? We're working with 3 different brains. And if you know that, you can say, okay, I'm working with 3 different brains in my life. How do I tap into the one I really want to get into? Which I'll give you a little bit of hint. So there's 3 different types of brains, right? And this one controls 95% of what happens to you in your life. And it is the robot brain. Now I'm going to take my blur off and I'm going to say, hey, don't make fun of my background because it is a mess in here, but I don't care. So here we have what we call your robot brain, right? And what is a robot brain responsible for? What's a robot brain responsible for? My breathing, my heartbeat, my driving, all the habits that I've included, my brushing my teeth. The brain, the robot brain handles all of that. It takes care of you. It goes on automatic, just like driving the car. You put it in automatic, you don't have to shift the gears. The robot brain, and it controls you 95% of the time. 95% of the time, that brain is like on fire controlling you. And what is the brain's, I told you we were going to talk about the brain. What is the brain's primary function? Survival. So if you want to introduce change, what is the brain going to do? I will tell you, it's going to turn its back on you. It is going to fight. Because remember, fight or flight, survival. That's my job as the robot brain. And then we have the second brain, which I love this little guy. What is that? What's that brain? It is the monkey brain, right? And what does the monkey brain do? Oh, the monkey brain is the emotional one. The monkey brain is the one that loves to be distracted, loves to go play and have fun. It is the one that is responsible for love, lust. What's new out there? What's the best shiny object? Oh, you have a new app. Oh, I want to see it. I'm going to take away from all of the work activities I have and go. I'm just, the monkey brain is always controlling you. It is, woof, right? And so you got to be able to control that monkey brain. You got to calm that brain. And that's why I'm going to tell you again, structure is so important. The ability to calm that monkey brain, to calm it, and to keep it in check, because it will run you ragged and run you wild, and you will not be able to get a dang thing done. And how do I know that? Because I suffer from squirrel syndrome. I have had to train myself over the years, and I work hard at it, to train myself over the years to calm that brain, because I'm just like anybody else. I want to go have fun. You know, my motto is stay focused, stay positive, and always have fun, because my monkey brain loves to have fun. It's Friday, it's fun day. Let's go do something fun. So we have to control that monkey brain. And again, it's the emotional one that loves you. And then the one that we need to tap into. Oh yes, the one we need to tap into is this beautiful one, the sage brain. Now, what does the sage brain do? The sage brain is what separates us from the animal kingdom, right? This is the one that we need to tap into more in 2023 to have that growth that you say you want. It's the one that you need to really focus on strengthening. It is no different than strengthening a muscle at the gym, right? You have to work at it. So I'm going to, I just want you to think about, I'm going to work at strengthening that particular brain, the sage brain. Because we are a society that's very inconsistent. We drift apart. We drift easily. I want to go west. Oh, something's here that I want to go into. And it's almost as though, as I said, your brain's job is survival, right? So what we have to do to quiet that robot brain that's into survival is we have to scare it into action. We have to scare that brain into action. We have to ask ourselves the question, what if I don't make another sale this year? Ooh, what if I don't take care of myself? Will I be around for my children, for my family, for my significant other, for my spouse? So you have to look at some of the, you have to kind of tease and scare the brain. We got to say, Mr. Brain, if I don't do this, this is what's going to happen. So you got to scare it into doing it. You got to scare it into taking action, massive action, and tapping into the power that is within you. And as I said earlier, inside of you is something so special, and that you are capable and worthy of so much more. Have you allowed yourself to be quieted? Have you allowed yourself to practice that learned helplessness? Have you said, it didn't work for me before, it's never going to work for me again? It's a question that only you can answer. So as I think about what's going to happen with us, and I know it happens to all of us, just like we said at the beginning of the year, we had some goals and objectives and some resolutions and all of that stuff. And what happened is, come February, we all slid off, including me. And I have to constantly go back and back and back. So I want to say to you, as I said earlier, number one, don't take the blame game. Don't play the blame game. Take ownership of what's going on for you. Take the time to think about creating a small habit for yourself, because we know that habits start one little bit at a time. If I agree today that I'm going to give myself permission to look at social media, guess what? Instead of going a whole hour, I give myself 15 minutes. That's it. If you set your timer, little tiny changes that you can make that will help you tap into your sage brain. Because now who's controlling whom? You're controlling it. And I want little Yoda to come out and say, yes, be who you need to be. So another habit I want you to think about doing is controlling your emotions. Because it's so easy to let others make you feel bad, make you feel sad, make you feel angry. So developing the habit of controlling your emotions gives you freedom. Remember, don't take their monkey onto your back at all. The third thing I want you to think about is embracing change. Change is inevitable. How many people do you know that are like, oh, I can't handle change? That doesn't work for me. Change doesn't work for me. I just want everything to be as it was. But that's not reality. Embrace change. Embrace change. Another thing I want you to think about is focus on your circle of control. What can I control? It's easy to get upset when there are things that you have no control over. But why? Maybe it's a traffic jam, a late flight, somebody cut you off. I mean, don't get crazed about it. Focus on what you can control. It's how you show up. It's how you show up. How are you showing up? Now, are you someone that shies away from someone else's opinion? because you don't want to upset others. Now, you know, it's not possible to keep everyone happy all the time, but I want you to know that it is important that you speak up for yourself. And sometimes that's hard. It's taking a risk. Now, I know many of you on this call have taken risks over your life, and I applaud you. Really, I applaud you. You've done things that, wow, were you afraid to do? You're dang right. You're taking risks, which is good. So tapping in to that powerful sage brain and quieting the monkey and taking control of the robot brain will allow you to make progress and allow you to flourish as we move into 2023. It's a long year, but it's going to be a short year because time flies. If you are unwilling to make small changes now, what do you think is going to happen at the end of the year? You're going to look back and you're going to say to yourself, I told you so, rather than, good job. You made some modifications. You made some changes, right? So when you think about making small changes, and I don't want to overwhelm you because my commitment to you every week, and I'm going to do beyond next week, teaching something else, as we really, because we're really focusing less on the psychology of flourishing and how we can get better. And tiny steps every week that you make. And I'm going to leave you with some questions today because my commitment was I would give you about 30 minutes of teaching and answer any questions or and I'm going to send some information out to you. But that's my commitment because I know you all have busy lives. We all have busy lives. But I want you to think about, again, what am I capable of doing? How do I build some structure in my life? What is the one habit increase incrementally that I can change each week? Maybe it's something simple as, maybe I will brush my teeth for 2 minutes instead of 1. Maybe it's something as, I will kiss my husband goodbye or my spouse goodbye, or in the morning when I've not been doing it. Find something simple, because this impacts us our entire life, not just our work, but our relationships, our health, our wealth, everything. Or how about, hey, this week, I'm not going to go to Starbucks and buy coffee or go out to lunch because I'm going to put it in my vacation fund. Or, something simple. Or I'm going to be courageous and make that sales call that I've been afraid to make. Little things, and you will realize that you're tapping into the sage brain. So this week, here's what I'd love you to do. I want you to, let me go get this. I want to get my questions here so I have them for you, because sometimes I can't remember everything. So think about a time during the day that you observe that processing robot brain in session. It's just going. It is going. Now, the robot brain is controlling you 95% of the time. And then ask your robot brain, or ask yourself, what goals and dreams or ambitions have you observed your robot brain sabotaging you? How has your robot brain sabotaged you? Because it was afraid of security, stress, financials, tension. I read this great quote from Buckminster Fuller. He said, "You can't change the way people behave. All you can do is give them a tool, the use of which will change their behavior." So little things that you give yourself, observation, end of the day, middle of the day, after your meeting, what did I do really well? Was my robot brain in charge, or did I tap into my sage, or did I let the monkey man take over in all my life? I want you to know that these are how you build a great mindset and continue to grow as an individual. And remember, everything that you learn, share with others. Because when you consistently apply new activities and actions in your life, you're going to see major strides towards accomplishing your goal, and your mind gets stronger, which means you're tapping into who? You're tapping into the sage brain. Okay. So the other thing that I want to share with you is when you begin to feel that, who comes out? Who comes out of you? It's this guy. I mean, he just starts, whoa! It's the inner Hulk inside of you, right? It's the inner Hulk without inside of you. And it's time to let that person emerge. You got to rip off your shirt and you want it to emerge. I don't care if it's Wonder Woman, I don't care if it's Hulk, but there's someone inside of you waiting to come out and wanting to flourish and live their best life. So I want to honor you. I want to thank you for joining me today. I want you to go enjoy your lunch. I want you to do whatever it is, but most importantly, I really want you to think about how you can be more intentional in your study of growth, in your study of improvement, versus passively consuming information, because there is so much information coming at us, and being able to filter it and and put the blinders on so you can go after what's important for you in your life. Simple things that I want you to think about every day. Even though we all suffered from some sort of learned helplessness while growing up, we have the ability to overcome it and change it. It's a choice. You all, I hope to see you all next week, because I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week, but we're going to continue on the psychology of flourishing in 2023. I'm going to introduce new topics, new subjects, new tools as we move on. And if you get one little idea that you might implement, then I'm a happy camper and I am going to smile the rest of the week. As a matter of fact, I'm going to smile the rest of the day right now, because you have taken the time to invest in yourself and invest in your future. And yes, someone just said that I was their favorite squirrel, and I appreciate that, because I can be easily distracted. So if there are any comments, put them in the chat. If not, I open up for, chat questions if you want to raise your hand and ask a question. And if not, I'm at peace. I love you all for joining. I want you to flourish in 2023. Thank you, Mr. Pearl. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, anything else? If not, I'm going to say thank you. And I will see you all next week. I do this because, as I said, I care about sharing the wisdom that I have learned that have helped me progress in my life. And isn't that what we're supposed to do? Help others grow and learn? Because that's what it's all about. Have an awesome week, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.